I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
do you think, just as like an opinion,
Yeah.
what are
Okay.
the chances you thought they were good? That an alien civilization that came into contact with us would be good or bad? So an alien civilization, that has come here.
Right. So they've specifically come here. So they obviously know that we're here and they've sought us out. They've travelled here.
Yes, or yes.
Yeah. When you say good or bad, you mean it's like hostile or
Hostile or friendly.
Hostile or friendly. Hostile.
It feeds into the stuff we were just talking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like almost like logically they would be friendly. That's kind of my. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to assume that like a civilization would be hostile, because like if you look back through human history, every time that like an alien, not like an extraterrestrial, but like one civilization that had no idea of the existence of another, when they come into contact, one usually loses out and is decimated.
Yeah.
Like the example of like South America being colonized by the Spanish,
Native Americans,
all that stuff. It usually ends up pretty bad for one of the civilizations.
The least developed one.
Yeah, sure. So,
which is us in this case.
So if you extrapolate that to aliens and extraterrestrial aliens and us, like, yeah, okay, you can imagine the same kind of thing happening. But I sort of think that,
because that's a particular era in history. Really.
It is a particular era in history, and I think for a start to have survived long enough to be spacefaring, you probably as a civilization need to kind of get over some of that stuff.
Yes, I think I think it's very unlikely they would be expressly hostile and just kind of
coming here to just murder everybody, like in War of the Worlds or Independence Day, or
sort
whatever.
Of intergalactic fascists that just turn up and just wanted to overtake everything and just build their empire here. That seems like an unlikely scenario in the sense that. Well, I mean, you don't know with different sorts of biology. I mean, you might have a very bizarre species that has a very kind of predatory,
like really
ancestry,
hostile ancestry,
and has developed in order for it to survive evolutionary a very kind of,
this is just what it does,
conquering thing, and that's how it keeps spreading its genes essentially. But you'd feel like those sorts of things destroy themselves, that they eventually come into contact with something that is more advanced than them if they're doing that in various places, and get screwed. And they would destroy each other and themselves before, and in order to kind of get a whole planet on the same side, as to go and travel to other places to seek out other people.
This is the kind of thing that I was sort of getting at.
You sort of think that you
it certainly
couldn't be just a sort of like intergalactic Nazis. You'd have to be something much more benign, much more cooperative.
I mean, it seems like. Again, like talking on speculation, but like
it's all speculation.
Yeah, sure. To develop the kinds of technologies that you would need to be a truly spacefaring civilization, you need like a global communication system similar to the internet, and that kind of thing. Just so that people can exchange ideas like fast and reliably and rapidly, and learn about the universe and build technology and stuff. And that kind of thing facilitates like. Any kind of fascist government or whatever is going to be controlling like an alien civilization in like an imperial sense would be sort of undermined by like the global communication that is enabling all the science to happen. So I just feel like eventually the kind of hostile, like aggressive systems will be superseded by the kind of more benign, like knowledge kind of gathering. Civilizations, and those are the kind of ones that are going to make it to the spacefaring level.
That's what you
assume. I would assume.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
I mean, of course, it's possible that like some like crazily successful like despotic ruling elite or something could be like awesome at designing loads of tech. And just like constantly everything's subservient to it. But I just feel like you couldn't develop enough technology without like the full input of like your entire civilization in terms of like thought and processing of ideas and spreading of ideas around the planet, and like a small group of people running, or a small group of aliens running an entire civilization is not going to be able to develop like the spacefaring technology required. And
you kind of think, is it really beneficial to try and like go around conquering worlds in a sense? Is it beneficial for your species? Isn't it better to try and work with other things, and isn't that more conducive to your survival?
Yeah, because you think you'd learn more about yourselves and like your origins and like what
share technology.
Yeah, share technology.
Everything.
Yeah, and like share like, I mean, maybe defense and stuff. Like if there are hostile civilizations, it makes more sense to sort of band together and you know.
Yeah. I guess there's some sense you could have like a sort of global dictatorship that commands everyone to do X and Y on this particular random planet. And one of those things is to go out and search for other civilizations and whatnot. But it's expressly for the idea of conquering it for this great dictator.
Yeah.
So they still have the input of the planet. But you feel like that's I mean, we're just thinking of this in like human society.
Yeah, we are, and I totally am. But history teaches us those things don't last.
No, they don't.
They collapse. Which is why I think they would be inevitably replaced by a more like democratic
style, sort of
like benign, like, you know, civilization.
Yeah.
Inevitably.
Yeah, or replaced by no government at all, and you just kind of have like some weird kind of like neural interconnected network thing. Well,
everyone's just a brain in a jar.
Everyone looks for consensuses.
Yeah.
In like this kind of web.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm thinking of Mass Effect.
Okay, that's quite cool. I think I should play Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Something I'm missing out a little bit.